project is an effort to begin a collaborative conversation around the state, bring together all of the programs of teacher education to talk about what it really means to prepare new teachers to be excellent teachers. So we've been spending the last 5 days really working on developing a common language and a common understanding of pedagogy, the art and science of teaching. So how we as teachers do what we do in the classroom.
The planning of this was really think about equity and how that played into what we wanted to share with the teams that were coming and how we were really thinking about structuring the time with the students. Oregon now is in the position of really trying to think about how we're going to serve all students and do that in a way that is beneficial, in a way that's going to help to ensure their success.
One of the things that isn't very common in teacher education is to have the time to work across these communities. And the Institute really opens up that opportunity. It brings people with different roles, different work, different memberships to a common space.
Sometimes in higher ed we're in a silo, so it was so important to get their perspective on the ground practices, what's happening in the classroom, what will work, what won't work.
And so the challenge is to continue the work we've been doing, but also to kind of have that message come out, and so that eventually people realize that what school districts do and what teacher preparation programs do is all part of a continuous pathway to teaching.
As we think about our teacher candidates, especially in elementary programs as they're learning, if they could have a consistent language, that's really helpful in supporting their growth and understanding.
I think some of the most interesting conversations we've been having have been about reflections on observation that have been really helpful in thinking through teaching the reflective practice. We've done observations, but we've also gone through lots of processes of norming the way we each see and talk about teaching. And as a team, that's been really helpful. And this has offered us the time and space to come together, plan and coordinate. And we generally don't have the time or space or finances to do that.
The biggest benefit for me has been getting a sense of what's going on broadly in education in the state of Oregon. So the big context, the big picture, right? With all of the different pieces that are having an effect on our classrooms, and understanding how our practice as teachers and teacher educators fits into that big context.
Training to be a teacher doesn't just happen at the university. It happens at the university, it happens in clinical experiences. So these teams of people that have come represent that demographic. So it's people from all of those stakeholders who work with new teachers. We have 9 teams here this week that represent teacher education programs from all around Oregon. And really our job is to figure out where they are already in their practice and where do they want to go. And so really we've just been facilitating that conversation by giving them things to think about, things to observe and talk about, and then opportunities to share that across those teams.
Everybody's learning from each other and learning what we need to do as a group instead of individuals. And that's really important, especially because we're educating the entire field within Oregon. It's not just different universities, it's everyone collectively. Our program is really talking about restructuring and making sure we're meeting the needs of Oregon students. And this was one of the opportunities we really wanted to jump on, just to look at our programs, reevaluate what we're doing, and making sure we're creating the best educators for the state of Oregon.
Teaching is traditionally it's a white middle-class profession, and so it's a big challenge to change systems so that it's accessible to a broader range of people more like the kids that we're trying to serve.
This has been an amazing learning opportunity. We are talking about going back to our college and having discussions within our college. We are talking about having discussions with our partnering school districts as to how we can work better together and opening those dialogues, collaborating together and making sure we are preparing colleagues and professionals within the teaching field that are going to be marketable and the best teachers that they can be for our students.
This is being funded through a strategic investment by the state of Oregon. Funding is coming actually from the Oregon Education Investment Board as well as the Core to College initiative. The state is supporting all of the materials, all of the facilities, everything that we're doing is coming from that strategic investment. So we're certainly really looking at strategic data collection that's going to help us measure what impact this experience had on the people that they work with.
It's a unique opportunity to get all these different people in the same room together to talk about really their own common goal.
We're all working together to do this, and if we can collaborate in a setting like this one, it's easier to collaborate back in our own school settings and really improve the way we do our work.
You know, I think the more teams that do something like this, the more connections there'll be amongst us. And by us, I mean the whole education community that's working to serve new teachers and ultimately the students in the classrooms.
Having a week of working together on any sort of project creates the space for us to deepen our relationships. As those relationships deepen, the ways that we can support that student, getting them into the classroom, are just benefited, and all of our jobs become easier. So this week just creates a space for that to happen.
It's been an awesome experience to meet other professionals, other individuals, university professors, and talk and see what's happening. That's been the really big opportunity for myself, and to make those connections, because when we all have a connection in that language together, it's going to open up that opportunity for all of us.
As a group of professionals, we as teacher educators don't get the opportunity to share with each other. It is hard work and it takes time, and that's really, this institute is buying us that time. This week is an unheard of opportunity in that respect to really change how we prepare teachers in Oregon.